Hello and welcome to the latest Parry's Pickups. As promised, this is the import special, so we'll be covering import games from a variety of consoles. These are all Japanese imports this time. It will also be the last video filmed here in the UK for quite some time. I'm heading back to Denmark tomorrow. So this should be online, I think, Sunday, as it is tonight. It's Friday night. And yeah, I just thought I'd get one more in before I head off. So first of all, we'll talk about King of Monsters 2 for the Super Nintendo, or Super Famicom, if you will. This is a sequel to King of Monsters, of course, goes without saying. But this is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. It's quite unique in the fact that you have... Well, you do have boss battles in... side-scrolling beat-em-ups, I suppose. But the game kind of at the beginning tricks you into thinking it's a one-on-one fighter like the previous instalment. But then you find the screen starts scrolling to the right and you're destroying enemies. But then the boss character that you fight reappears. I've played very little of it. I can only tell you about the beginning of the game and my feelings about the controls and stuff. I thought it was a little bit stiff in the control department. And I was struggling to get many moves out of the character I chose. I chose something that looked a bit like Godzilla. I got a couple of moves, like this throw thing, which seemed to be quite effective, but overall the gameplay felt a little stiff. But it was really bright, colourful graphics, fun character designs. So yeah, it's a little bit too early for me to sort of judge this game as of yet. I think maybe it might be more enjoyable as a two-player game. But I wasn't able to test that this time. But that's King of Monsters 2, and I'm excited to give that another go sometime. Next up, we've got 3 games. Again, Super Famicom. They are all fighting games, and they are all based on the manga/anime series Ranma Half. We've got these 2 first, and I'm going to I'm not going to attempt to tell you what these games are called. But familiarise yourselves with the covers here. These 2 are very similar to each other, both in how they play, the control scheme, and the way they look. Yeah, they were okay. I quite liked them. Again, I didn't spend a lot of time with them. What I didn't like about them was that to jump you have to press a button, as opposed to a game like Street Fighter where up is jump. So yeah, that's going to take me a bit of getting used to with these 2 games. But, you know, quality titles, bright and colourful, and I'm not so familiar with the subject matter, so I know Ranma, I think, changes into a girl when he gets falls in water. Is that correct? Write in the comments below if you know any better than that, can inform me a little bit more about Ranma. But those are 2 fighting games for Super Nintendo. This third fighting game, you know, you might not necessarily know that that's a Ranma game just by looking at it, but it is. You can see it kind of here. And this is entirely different. It's a different developer. It's very colourful, I'd say. I'd say probably the characters themselves are bigger, more cartoony, and the gameplay is more similar to Street Fighter 2. This isn't as unique, whereas I feel like maybe these games could offer something, a different sort of fighting experience you don't usually find, because you find a lot of Street Fighter clones about. So if you're after something a bit different, you know, I think these ones definitely would be a good way to go. But this one here, if you're just after a more straightforward Ranma Half fighting game, that has a lot in common with Street Fighter 2, and where up is jump and not press a button, which I was very happy about. And then this one here is probably worth your while. I'm sorry I can't give you a translation of the Tantalus game. I've totally forgotten what this one was listed as, because these are all eBay purchases. But I like that one. I'd say perhaps if you had to go for one, that would be my choice pick. Next up, it's Sega Saturn. And yeah, I've been collecting Japanese Saturn games for a number of years now. I actually had a Japanese Saturn before I had a PAL Saturn. And compared to PAL games, I have a lot more Japanese games. A game I was holding out for a PAL copy of was this one. This is Burning Rangers. Burning Rangers is a game made by Sonic Team, and it's sort of an action firefighting type platform-esque game. Sorry about that. So your role is like a sci-fi firefighter. Sorry about that. A sci-fi firefighter, and yeah, it's really nice. Really high resolution graphics. Great 3D on the Saturn. It's not often you see 3D done on the Saturn, especially this well. I was a bit concerned about this one because of the language barrier, and yes, the tutorial is all in Japanese, and nothing's written down either. It's all spoken language. So, but saying that, it was easy enough to work out what my goals were. There's a little prompt comes on screen, tells you which buttons to press, which do which actions, and yeah, the game itself was really easy to pick up the mechanics, even though it was in Japanese. The menus were all in English, so you don't have to worry about that. I'm sure I'll miss out on some story playing it in Japanese, but I actually do think if you're curious about the game, get a Japanese copy. I mean, they're not very expensive. This one cost about just under 20 quid, I think, with postage. So that's a lot better than the prices the PAL copies are, you know, going for at the moment. So and also comes with a fun little extra bit, which is in the back here. This is a mini disc, a music disc actually. It contains, I think, 3 music tracks from the game, so that's a nice thing to have. That's Burning Rangers. The next one would be a great game, Shin Shinobi Den. This is a must-have for the Saturn. This really got me. The character of I forget his name, the shinobi oh, what is his name? Oh, I can't remember. Yeah, you can remind me in the comments what the main character of Shinobi is called. Anyway, I'll move on. Digitised characters. A sense of humour is present within this game as well through the FMV cutscenes, and some of the events that happen throughout the game are very outlandish. The gameplay is incredibly solid. The control is really tight, really satisfying. It's a great variety of moves you can do as the ninja character in this. I'm kicking myself, can't remember what this character's name's called. But yeah, it's a fantastic Shinobi game. I'd go as far as saying it's my favourite Shinobi out of all of them. Again, this is one of them expensive PAL games. It's a bit cheaper to get it as an import. It was slightly more expensive than Burning Rangers was, but I'd say well worth the cash. So no language barrier here. Maybe there's some stuff, some spoken words in the cutscenes which you'll maybe miss out on, but I think you buy these games for the gameplay, at least I do, and this is incredibly solid, incredibly enjoyable 2D side-scrolling action game. Next up we have Alan Dury, I think is how it's pronounced. This is a 3D fighting game where you ride on top of dragons. If you've seen my game room tour, which you can check out on the channel, then I will have mentioned this game briefly and just kind of sang its praises somewhat. It's good. I've again not had very much time to play on it. It's another one of them Japanese exclusive fighting games, which is one of the, up in the more expensive spectrum. Unfortunately, you can get it for under £50, maybe about 40. I can't remember how much I paid for it, around that mark. Ooh, see the reflection on there. It's rather fun. Yeah, the idea is you pick your character and you ride on top of a dragon, and it's got full 3D movement. You can move around the other character while you're fighting. The graphics really high resolution, real good. It's got your typical like Street Fighter move inputs. Yeah, it's unique and rather good from what I've played already of that. So close look at the cover there. Alan Dury. There you go. There's the title if you want to look it up. But a good game, and I recommend. Next up we have the final Saturn game of the bunch, and that is Batman Forever, the arcade game. Again, cheaper to buy it as a Japanese import as opposed to the PAL version. I can't see any difference between this and the PAL version. It's all in English, apart from that tile on the cover there, but then you got Batman's Revolution up there. This is a rather fun, over-the-top 2D fighting side-scrolling beat-em-up, shall I say. And yeah, digitised characters, just like Shin Shinobi Den. A sense of humour, again. Yeah, fairly solid gameplay. I enjoyed it. Crazy, wacky, out there. I need to play more of it again, but it's got 2-player co-op, and yeah, I like it quite a bit. That's Batman Forever. And lastly, the last import of the bunch is a PlayStation game, and that one would be It's Only Fatal Fury Wild Ambition, which, to my recollection, was the first 3D Fatal Fury game. So way before we had the Maximum Impact series on PS2, where this one released, I think originally in arcades, maybe on one of the Neo Geo CD systems perhaps, but also on the PS1. I haven't played it yet because my Japanese PS1 is in a box somewhere and I don't have any other means to play it. Yes, so I didn't root that one out for this yet. So it has gone unplayed. I can't tell you how great or terrible it is. I assume it's probably going to be more around the average mark here. But cool nonetheless to see these classic characters rendered in, like Terry and Andy and so on, rendered in 3D. Nice disc there with Mai on it. Geese on the front. So yeah, I'm looking forward very much to giving that a go. And that is it for now. So that's the import games I picked up recently, besides Star Fox Assault, which was an American import, which I actually featured in a previous Parry's pickups. But yeah, I'm back to Denmark tomorrow, so yeah, no doubt you'll hear from me pretty soon again with another video. I'll be picking up things in Denmark, maybe not as much as in the UK, so expect that there won't be as many of these videos as there have been over the past 3 weeks, I suppose. But yeah, keep checking back. I will definitely be posting more whenever I find something of interest. So thank you very much again for checking these out. I hope you found something, you know, that might interest you in this video. And yeah, if you've got any comments, please leave them below and subscribe to the channel. Why not? There's great content coming from, well, you know, coming from myself and other members of the Blast Process team. I hope you'll find it great. I hope you find it enjoyable. But yes, we'll catch you very soon for another Parry's Pickups. Ta-ta for now.